And she
You know who
sucks
else is a great combo with Oracle and great at killing the egg, gentlemen?
No, I really don't know.
Huskar.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no way.
Bring it out today.
Garbage.
Yes, the offlane
can do
juggernaut
it.
into the carry Huskar.
Honestly,
Yes.
Quickfoot does play Huskar.
Well, you could do
so
mid Huskar, though.
maybe
Do not pick Huskar.
You could do it.
back in
Liquid,
back in the day.
Liquid, Shannon said that you were going to win 2-1, so if you pick
Yeah.
Huskar, that's not going to happen.
Now this draft looks to me this looks like entirely different from the last one in terms of like the priority in picks. So I feel like Liquid recognized their mistakes. Will it work? Who knows?
What I like when I have a jug on my team here, it's a first-round jug, is that it's similar to that Void we saw yesterday, where he's going to be threatened. Whatever they pick on the side of Yellow Submarine is most likely going to make Jug have to itemize defensively. So no, he should not go Mask of Madness Battle Fury. He'll probably go stuff like, you know, Manta Scotty if they choose to threaten him. What I'm getting at here is Team Liquid needs to draft one extra hero that is a damage threat to the side of Yellow Submarine such that the Jug can afford to do that.
5 seconds remaining.
Shadow Fiend,
Well, it's probably going to be 10th pick, right?
Lone Druid.
Lone Druid would be
Is
really
banned.
nice, actually. Oh, it's actually banned already?
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Oh,
first
first
ban.
round. That's
Quickfoot,
respect.
the only team that does anything with Lone Druid is this one right here.
Yeah, Quickfoot does love his Lone Druid, no doubt.
So what's the ideal lane partner against Enchantress with a Earth Spirit? Is Batrider on the table? Seems like a decent Batrider game. Lifestealer's already banned out. Faceless Void's already banned out. You've
Only
got
issue is you
Jug.
don't see the carry yet.
They would almost certainly pick Lifestealer if you do that. Are you okay with... Oh, Lifestealer's banned too. I already said that. Wow, I'm good.
Brilliant.
I'm
So
early
the
onset
bat
dementia.
would block out the Sven pick. It would block out Morphling to some degree. It would block out TB. I actually feel like Bat just is good against
Like, what's good against what they already have?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a very solid Bat game. This is a Brax level draft right here, boys. Let's see.
Well, the Brax level drafts didn't really work out yesterday.
This is
So
true.
what does
It worked
that mean
for one
exactly?
game, but
It
then
was-
Eternal Envy picked more, or was Morphling.
Yeah, it was almost
So
working.
the only counter to Brax God tier drafting is Eternal Envy.
Yes, that is the counter. I think Eternal Envy might have played 1 or 2 pubs this week, and that's why they lost.
Get back to TFT, young man.
Yes.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, they go
Timber Saw. Okay.
Really?
Very
I'm
interesting.
not a fan. It does cover the Terrorblade base.
But I mean, Timber's not good against any of these three heroes.
Anybody
Like,
down for some Slark? Dead serious here? Slark it up?
Slark is very good against all of their heroes, actually.
10
Yeah, that's what I mean.
seconds remaining.
You munch on whoever Oracle saves, you can just press R when Jug ults, you own Timber in lane, and then you can eventually kill him and take a shitload of stats from him. Earth Spirit, it's hard for him to get his spells
They might
on
go
you 'cause he has-
Ursa. Oh, Anti-Mage. Ugh, I feel like Slark Ursa, even though they're off meta, are so much better against those heroes.
Well, I mean, AIM's still decent. It's like, you know, you can't get Omni'd, for one.
it's true.
You're not going to die to the magic damage. Basically, Jug has to Omni you right now if you're going to have Anti-Mage die, or Timber needs to be completely snowballing.
They're gonna pick a mid laner, like I said, that does the damage. So TA's on the table. What else? Physical damage mid laners do we got?
Is Ember still
Monkey
there?
King.
Ember's not bad.
Monkey King's reasonable.
You
Ember.
mean for Liquid?
Yeah, for Liquid.
I feel like Ember's pretty solid right now with what they
They
have.
do have very little lockdown.
Like, they
and
need
if you were to
some-
go like Deso on Ember, it would actually be very good
Yeah.
against the anti-mage and the rest of the lineup too. You'd like two-shot the Enchantress.
They need some fighting lockdown guy in the mid lane.
You know, a hero we haven't seen this series,
We haven't seen PA.
I haven't seen Pudge.
or Bloodseeker.
Those are all correct answers.
Is that your answer, Bloodseeker?
Yeah, Bloodseeker.
Okay.
That was the desired answer.
Sure. Oh, Broodmother, of course. It's Quickfoot. You have to ban this thing.
Yeah, I was curious if they were gonna ban it out.
Even
'cause
though
they had
there's a Mars,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's like
It's still just respect. Like a lot of these bans are just respect. The Lone Druid, Slardar, and
Well,
the
Slardar's just a good hero.
He
man.
is, I know, but it's like when Slardar's good and there's Boxy on the enemy team, it's like
Yeah.
you have to ban it. Like this guy's the single best Slardar in the world.
Well, remember how I said that they could pick a mid laner that also does physical damage to enable the Jug to go more, defensive items. Slardar is an offlaner that allows your carry to just build less damage because
Yeah.
you get free damage. So it's kind of funny how
Does
that
anybody play Ricky mid anymore?
I've seen
Rioya.
Bryle do it a
Rioya's
lot
played
in
it.
pubs.
For fun,
I think it's
Ricky mid?
personally only good against like the spirits. pretty much, because you farm decently, and then you, like, the only problem with Ricky mid is that you don't wave clear at all, so you kind of just lose your tower to any hero that pushes. But against the spirits, it's pretty nice. They go for the Kunkka.
Okay.
I was gonna say Kunka's not so bad. It's kind of
don't
weak
love it,
against like the
though.
Mars and the Phoenix in terms of like.
Speaking of the Spirit Brothers, though, Ember is still available, and Void Spirit. No, wait, Void Spirit's gone.
I feel like Ember.
So Ember and technically Storm.
Ember would be like the very vanilla pick to pick here.
If
I
Liquid
think.
picks Storm, I'm gonna throw
Anti-mage.
No way.
Yeah,
Might
I'm
counter
saying,
Storm
I'm,
a
saying I'm
bit.
gonna throw my
No way.
That's a
my
confidence
draft book
pick.
out the window.
I mean, you could double down on like the Jug and go Mag, but then it's so
Liquid has
inactive.
run out of time as well. They're taking this to the... All right, so Leshrac.
I like the Lesh Band. He's a hero that solo kills the Timber.
It's also here they could not pick, I would assume, because there's an AM on the other
Yes,
side.
absolutely.
really good in a 4 protect
So
one.
they go
pick
for the
Storm.
Storm. This is a pseudo Ember.
Immediate Visage. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Woo! Huh.
I like that Visage pick.
Okay, so
I'm down. I am so down for that Visage pick.
great 5-man from
Completely
Liquid.
shuts down the entire concept of how Yellow Submarine want to play that 8 to 15 minute mark, and that's exactly how they won last game. So I like it. I'm going Team Liquid all the way.
Jenkins?
I'm going to go Yellow Submarine. I feel like their laning looks pretty solid last game, and I think if Liquid doesn't have good lanes, that 10 to 15 minute mark's not going to matter too much.
All right, Jenkins says 2-0. BSJ says 1-1. After this break, we'll find out. BRB, friends. Welcome back to the Monster Energy Dota Summit 13. Remember, friends, if you want to vote for the MVP of this series, you can go to bts.gg/Monster MVP BSJ Jenkins and the very esteemed Pop-Tart who eats frozen Pop-Tarts, which I can actually, sadly, personally recommend. We are now in game. Can we check Roshan, please?
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Thank you.
Honestly, every time you ask that, my anxiety kicks in for like that 2 seconds that
Yeah,
it takes
I mean-
Pop-Tart to pan over. Pop-Tart, if you
Yeah.
could work on your timing there, make
Yes.
it maybe a second and a half or less, that
Pop-Tart,
would be very much
You
appreciated.
need to understand, good Dota is fast Dota, okay? I can't have you wasting 1 to 2 seconds at the start of every game when we ask for the Roshan check. Get your shit together, man.
You know, something you might want to... He's been playing a lot of FPS games with these, so he knows a lot about not only trigger control, but cursor placement, crosshair placement.
Yes.
So if you could put the cursor over the Roshan on the mini-map at all times during the game, just to prep for any time that we may bring
Yes.
him up,
While
that would be
also
much
seeing
appreciated.
every kill and checking every hero's items, that would be greatly
Yes.
appreciated. Thank you.
I mean,
He's
he's a
really
professional
doing
observer.
it.
He should be able to... And we are starting the game with the bounty runes, which is no
Oh my God,
different
the
than any other game.
Enchantress Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, there's
Jesus.
another replicate there with a pumpkin on her head.
Wait, who?
What is
Oh,
Dota?
wow.
Look at look at this. What game
Remember
do we
when
play?
that cowboy hat on Ursa really just destroyed the community from the
Yeah,
inside?
that was
Now this is two different cosmetics. This is Dota now.
This is like the only reason I can tell that's Enchantress is the walk. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
The sproink, shall I say?
And it's funny because since I do have a lot of experience with like the workshop cosmetics and whatnot, I believe that the requirements still say the silhouette must be similar to the default set of the hero. And now I'm looking at these sets, I'm like, lol. Lol. There's Yaturo.
I gotta say, I don't really mind being against anti-mage in lane that much as Timber. You just eventually
You just use all of your mana to start.
yeah,
the
you
game.
just use all your mana, he does no damage to you.
Yeah, and he
And
can't
then
kill you.
You get a soul ring, you just off cooldown press your pure damage on him.
Yeah, and most of the time against agility carries, you just take your Timber Chain as opposed to your Whirling Death.
Yeah, or the passive. You just
No, you don't take your passive against anti-mage, dude.
well, and I'm saying sometimes you take the passive against other heroes.
Well, what I'm saying is that since he has to use all of his mana, right? And he's against an agi carry.
Yes, I'm
then he
100%
levels
following
his
this.
chain.
At no point was I
But
not
you
following.
are confusing the viewers at home.
The viewers are 10k.
I really
more.
liked that
They know-
that random chain out in the middle of the lane. He did that literally to save health. because he knew he was going to get all of his
Right.
mana burn in the first place. So it's kind of funny that like usually you lull at that chain, and I'm sure most people did because they
Oh
didn't understand
God,
why.
I don't know about that, dog.
Whoa
Now questioning
there.
Boxy.
Yeah,
Now
Okay.
you're making us look bad, Box.
Come on,
Step it up,
Boxy.
buddy.
So wait, explain this to me again. You do not get any levels of reactive armor?
No, you get it just at level 2. Like
Oh,
People
right,
are
okay.
in most games now. People are leveling W first, just because it's really low mana cost, high damage, 4-second cooldown.
it's a way to secure the range as well.
That's yeah. It's actually an extremely good level 1 nuke, and this is one of the big reasons why Timbersaw is not just being picked into like strength hero. Like Timber started trending not just as a reactive armor guy, even against like quote unquote counters, because he's just got a good nuke. Like any hero that has a good low mana cost nuke is going to be decent.
I still think Timber's a pretty mediocre hero, personally.
We have differing opinions on this hero.
Well, it did lose yesterday, as we're going to have a gank on Toronto Tokyo mid.
Very
That
nice
sounds
play.
like the new Fast and Furious franchise.
Visage winning his lane. That's not good. I know he's losing in CS, but that kill will get him level 6 most likely before the Storm does. Which means that's all Visage needs to be successful.
Oh, Spear actually misses, so not that they could have gotten a kill, but harassment is definitely really important right now, as Collapse is sitting on extremely low HP.
Spear is a ton of mana. If you miss it, that's pretty much the most detrimental part of it.
Yeah, it's like half your mana pool. You really don't have many spears. More importantly, it's a bunch of God's Rebukes that you could have used off cooldown.
Yep. That is 4 mangoes on Enchantress. Interesting. With the level 1 impetus. Or impetus. How do you say it?
It's impetus.
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 Yeah. Jenkins says it the way that literally no one does.
So
it's
Mickey
perfect. All right,
would have
the
died
trade.
before the Mars if he had been hit by that spear earlier.
Yep, that is true.
So we'll chop that spear up to causing him to feed there, even though Mickey did go down anyway.
Yeah. You know, on both sides, you're kind of like, well, you know, we needed to go back to base and go ahead and snag some items from Fountain, but I think obviously you prefer to get the kill first.
Can I just say the Enchantress taunt is one of the best ones as well?
It's a good one.
What do you think, SUNSfan?
I'm trying to remember what it is.
I can't even...
She like spins her thing and then does like a
She
dance.
like dances to some music. And spins
I would
around.
say that's very average.
It's
Really?
a pretty good taunt.
I think if you look at the full list of taunts, as we're going to see some action here, onto Koikfa to start it out. He's starting to tick down. Getting really low by the tower. The next Fire Spirits does connect. Another one on top of that. Will he tick out? The other one hits from long range. Koikva
That south tick saved him,
will live.
but he has to go base. So he might not get level 6 before Toronto Tokyo now because of this base. Oh, he has level 5. Never mind.
Anyway, back to my very important point on taunts. I think you may think a certain taunt is good until you start comparing it to the field.
Kind of like Brother Bear.
And, well, that's actually exactly like Brother Bear, because Brother Bear does not compare to half the movies on the tier list.
Yeah.
As we're going to see the first kill here, Oracle top, and Collapse getting spun on right now. And it looks like he will follow suit as well, but he gets the spear first onto the Juggernaut, and Mickey. That's a double kill for Collapse, and he lives.
I'm kind of surprised they're trying to force so much here. When I think of the Jug Mars matchup, it's like it's a good game matchup, but the lane is kind of mediocre. So I feel like you should just be chilling. Top.
Mediocre for who?
For the Jug.
For
Like
Jug?
I would rather be the Mars than the Jug in that lane.
Yeah, it would depend on the supports, I think. Well, you can spin the Mars down. Like that's one of the heroes that can actually kill Mars, which is pretty nice.
All I'm saying is if you fall behind on Jug, it gets really hard in this lane. So if you just wait till like you're level 5, 6-ish, you kind of just win the lane. But
True. Because any physical damage guy against Jug is.
Koikfa coming in hot with the Visage rotation, level 5. Back in Taiga up here. That level in the Soul Assumption. Pretty potent.
It's like 285 damage at level 1 as an ability.
It's
actually
quite
that
good.
much.
Another missed spear, but that's because of the Blade Fury, as Mickey will get some sort of revenge here.
This is when you know it's EU Dota, when it's been like 5 kills in one lane
Mm-hmm.
by the 6-minute mark. And it's just like a regular dual lane, you know?
Yeah.
Not some fancy tri-lane. As, let's see how much damage Soul Assumption is. I believe it's about 180, level 1. Oh, they buffed the shit out of it. Holy crap, it's 245. You are closer. Wow.
Incredible.
It's a big one.
That's a lot of damage. 245? What the hell?
It's a good ability.
I mean, I knew it was a ton of damage, but that's like a metric ton of damage.
Yeah, this is why.
Stupendous.
Do you not say metric shit ton because you thought that would take your one poop thing for
Yes,
the day?
yes. It's
That does not count.
That counts as your third, by the way, Jenkins.
No, that doesn't count.
Jenkins,
That's a saying.
You're already over the cap.
Way over the quota.
That's a turn of phrase. That's a turn of phrase. From what I've heard.
Wow. That's CSing from Mickey. That crit, that was hype.
Beautiful, beautiful word.
I was actually anxious as he was like pump faking that range creep a bunch.
I mean, you were talking about how you'd rather be the Mars, but would you expect the Mars to be out farming the Juggernaut?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I think Mars wins the lane.
It's annoying as the Jug because when Mars like fakes the spear, you either spin and then he just doesn't cast it, or you don't spin and then he actually spears you. So you can pretty easily bait out a spin, just because of like the risk factor of it. And then if he
yeah,
does
that's true.
spin, you can just easily kill him after.
This is the Mars build I know and love. None of this Tranquil Boots crap. Double bracer phase.
You just
Man
like to be a
mode.
beefy boy?
Yeah, man.
You don't like Yules?
In matchups where you are strong, this is the correct build, I think. And against Jug, even though he's behind in levels here because he did feed a kill later on in the lane, you should feel very good about consistently contesting the Jug in lane.
Oh, Royal Jelly, gentlemen. This is my tier 1 item
Ooh, on
that I
Storm
love to
AM.
see.
Very nice. Maybe not so good on AM, but Storm, Royal Jelly.
I'd rather have that than a mango tree because I want the mana regen and health regen. And I don't care about my teammates.
You could probably do the math on how much mana and HP it gives you over an entire game.
Yeah.
I bet it's pretty
Assuming you are never full health or full mana.
Right?
true. Well, you could factor that in, get a pretty.
Well, you have to
decent
factor in
average.
how often you actually use the mangoes from the mango tree.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
A lot of them go to waste, I feel like.
You could come up with some. That's a video. There you go, BSJ.
Thank you.
Oh, we got the spin.
Unlike you, I don't run out of random content to post.
Mars ult. This looks to be Oracle's
Easy,
end, but the healing ward is placed on the outside. It matters not. It is the kitty healing ward, which is important. That is top tier.
What's worth $1,000?
And the Pushka taken out by Boxy in the bot lane. And gonna see some TP support. Yeah, Mana
Oh,
Void
silence.
still only to be level 1, but this should be enough with this the jump in from
If he had a
Toronto,
bracer
Tokyo.
There, if he had a bracer. He didn't get the value cloak early, which I liked, but he should have had a bracer.
But this opens up the mid lane for Koikva, so we'll be taking down this tier 1 tower, at least getting it low enough.
This is the
Force them to try to
dream
deny.
Visage game, by the way. I don't know if like,
Supreme?
we talked about that, but like all Visage wants to do is spend the first 15 minutes walking from one lane to the next, killing tier 1s, and they have nothing to stop that with Anti-Mage Stormforce. Yes, they have Mars and Phoenix, so they might be able to all in him once, and even if they all in him and kill him, he'll just do it again.
I bet his next item is Orchid
You think so?
on Visage. Yeah, I
I'm
bet.
down. I'm down for that. That's the kind of the new way of building Visage. Instead of like this Helmdom Aura crap, you go for like the Drums Orchid.
Yeah, I like it.
Man, it just sounds like you don't like auras or things that help your team.
Well, no, like
Very
Classic
selfish.
carry-
that type
carry
of no,
player
that type of
BSJ.
Visage is very boring. Let's be honest. But the new
Yeah.
Visage is like you're treating him like an active mid, but instead of being mobile,
Right.
he's just.
I mean, I think I've been tainted by days of old. Visage essentially picked in literally every tri-lane. So just automatic, I think of Visage as just a boring
Oh,
hero.
we got the
Yeah.
deny. That's so funny.
Really? Wow.
What I will say
He's gonna
that
steal this one.
yesterday when we saw Timbersaw, there was no tower rotation threat on the team with Timbersaw. So if you remember, all they did was distract the Timbersaw for
ran
like
circles around him.
yeah, for like
The classic.
3 minutes. But in this case, the minute you bring a hero to the Timbersaw's lane, you know they're not going to mess with you. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's the Timbersaw. And in this case, it's the Visage who kills the tower almost instantaneously.
This is
That's a cool part to note about Timbersaw's weaknesses and such.
This is precisely why they banned out that Death Prophet too, for the same reason that you're mentioning. Timbersaw.
Yeah, he's going to be jumped. Attempting to timber chain away. Still relatively healthy. Support from the Oracle. Should be good to go. Now the counter initiation
Silence.
as Yaturo. He's taking a lot of damage.
He's dead.
Looks like he'll tick away. Now the chase is onto the Mars. Magnetize is still applied to both him and the Phoenix. The egg trying to keep them at bay. See if this will be enough. And then Sena attempting to run away now. Will get stunned though. And Taiga in the trees. Looks like he'll be finished off or ticked off very shortly there. Now Toronto, Tokyo Drift. Can he get out in time? Mickey with the Omni Slash though. He's completely out of mana. Nope. Had a little bit of sliver of mana left.
Oh, he has the mana boots. Don't usually see that very often
Yeah,
anymore.
that's pretty rare. Bloodstone first Storm, it looks like. I don't see why you would go for Mana Boots unless you're rushing the Bloodstone.
Yeah, he has the Kayak queued up as well, so
Yeah.
that's pretty obvious, Jenkins.
Yeah, well, just for anybody in the viewership that maybe
Hasn't played Dota in the last 20 years.
I just think your voice is pretty distracting. Maybe they don't look at the
I
bottom of the
see.
screen.
I see. I love that play by Boxy, by the way. As Timber saw, you have two choices. One, to do the thing where you walk at towers and kill them, or two, you stand in front of your own tower and say, I dare you to come at me, bros. And in this case, they've got the Oracle backing him up. They knew that the opponent could potentially threaten the Timber, so they brought as many heroes as they thought they needed on the side of Liquid, and defending that tier 1 against split pushers like Anti-Mage is so important, because the map is just going to close down so quickly.
Yeah, they've got this mid tier 1 tower, bot tier 1 tower. So really, the next objective is either tier 2s, which probably aren't going to happen, or Roshan, which probably isn't going to happen soon, or just defending your towers. Well,
I
maybe
think Roshan can happen somewhat soon.
Yeah, within 5 minutes. I mean, not like, you know.
He's going straight Assault Cuirass.
Oh,
My
jeez.
goodness.
I've
I'm
never
down,
seen
actually. I'm down. Against Anti-Mage, you just mass physical damage.
Collapse will be able to TP out.
You know what we talked about with Slardar, right? Where you win carry matchups because your carry just has like 20 more armor than theirs. Why not just do it from Visage? Just go AC Solar and just make your carry have way more armor than the other when they both have the same amount of items.
It's a valid point, you know? Not something people do very often, so it might actually be pretty good, just generally speaking.
I actually tried a similar build on Sand King where my carry was against an Anti-Mage and I just went AC Solar and it worked out nicely. So I think it's kind of like a not something I'm sure about, but it seems like Quakefa's on a similar thought process.
You don't see it, so it's hard to say like, oh yeah, that's great when people do it all the time because nobody really does it.
The GG
He's got the
trees.
tree, yeah, super nice. He was checking for a ward up there.
That's actually really cool.
Well, the Timber Chain also gives vision, so you can just chain without.
Wait, can you chain without actually going out? Wait, the chain itself.
The chain itself
vision?
gives vision, yeah.
Even if you don't land the chain.
Yep, gives vision.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Huh.
You can use it to like scout Roche and stuff.
So anytime anybody in the pubs make, they mistime it or misjudge how far the timber chain is, it just looks like a whiff. Dude,
Yeah.
that's for vision.
No, the thing is, people are gonna take that and they're gonna be like, "I'm gonna go scout with timber chain," and then they're gonna forget there was like a tree at the
They're
very
gonna
end of that timber
chain
chain.
right
and
in,
just chain
yeah,
right into
yeah.
the opponent team.
Why does Timber Chain give vision and goddamn Pudge Hook doesn't give vision?
Here we go again.
I'm so sick of
Honestly,
this bullshit.
Pudge needs something like that that actually functions in top tier Dota, where it's like some way of scouting or something, whatever.
Yeah. It only gives vision if you
That
hit
kind of shit
somebody.
actually matters at the highest brackets. Like, if you have a hero that can scout. I remember Dazzle back in the day was picked because his ult gave like 8 seconds of flying vision.
Yeah, that's pretty.
All right, would
damn
you be
good.
happy if Pudge Hook range was doubled?
Yes.
Would that bring him back?
Yes, absolutely. That would make him completely
You could
broken.
literally be sitting underneath a tier 2 trying to snipe someone at a tier 1.
That sounds great.
That would make Pudge literally the best hero in the game.
You get Aether Lens
instantaneously.
and then Telescope and then replace it with Seer Stone later, and then
Honestly,
it's like global hooks.
I feel like you don't even need those because it's such a long range.
Yeah, that would actually just be so dumb. It'd be pretty funny, though. I'd hate it for about a week, so then they could revert it. Wow, he had no trees left. The only way he was getting up there was the GG tree.
It's funny he remembers like the tree situation up there because
Such a low cooldown on it, too.
4 seconds.
Oh, Phoenix gets stunned up and then silenced after the fact. No egg for you.
Dude, this GG tree's broken.
Yep, but it'll be a trade for the Timber Saw. I think they'll take that any day of the week. And now the arena comes to fruition, and Toronto Tokyo gets another kill to his name.
I feel like Boxy's playing really well on the Timber, like with his positioning and his mechanics, which makes sense. He's a other than Slardar, like this is the other hero that you think of when you think of Boxy. But the problem is, like, it was picked into a bunch of heroes that are like soft counters to Timber. Like Mars doesn't really care, Phoenix definitely doesn't care, Storm doesn't really care. Literally none of them like care that much about a Timber. Like it feels a lot better when there's only one hero that can really kill you, or none.
The thing
obviously.
is that he does, like, the thing about Timber, I don't know if you feel the same way when you play him, is my job is to make space for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and
he's
then,
done his
like,
job, yeah.
And then the rest of the game, you're just like, team carry me, please, because I do literally nothing. Like, that feels like what Timber as an offlaner does.
I feel
You're
like
just going to
that's-
buy items that do stuff for the
I
team,
feel like
right?
that's
You go
why
grease pipe.
people think it's bad though, is because that's mostly the way that it's played. But I don't think it needs to be that way.
You don't think Timbersaw needs to be played as like this aura building, you know?
Oh
sack
my
hero?
goodness! All right.
That is Visage versus Anti-Mage, by the way. It is a very good matchup for Visage. Very good matchup.
40 seconds on the deck. He does have Battle Fury working towards Yasha, I
AC's
do
almost
believe.
done. That should be the cue for Roche when they get that.
Level 2 birds too, like that doubles the damage on them. It is super important.
Is it actually
But
double?
Pushka
Yeah, 20 to
almost
40.
gets brought down immediately. Insane is going to have to pop the ult on himself as Toronto Tokyo pretty much out of mana. I hear an egg go off.
Does
The
he have
Taiga.
Bloodstone on Storm? No, not quite yet. Okay. Would be nice to start racking up those charges because they're going to have to default to the split push game quite soon here on the side of Yellow Submarine because once this Visage item comes out and maybe like the Greaves from Timber, I don't see how they 5-man. Like, even with their Mars Phoenix, just because Enchantress, Anti-Mage, and Storm offer absolute zilch to team fights.
They need to probably create pressure in 2 lanes and then take a fight when somebody goes back.
The thing is, how do you kill this Jug, though? Right? Even though it's a first-round Jug and he's against heroes he can't necessarily kill, he can just clear any lane he wants. Like, look at his build. That says so much about his survivability this game. He has no stat items other than a wand.
Straight Battle Fury.
He has Battle Fury, Yasha, and a Windlace.
Well, Phoenix is done. No egg to work with. Had just used it previously off screen.
Taiga, for the most part, has been in like every single gank.
Yeah,
his
that's
Earth
true.
Spirit- His Earth Spirit's sick, man.
He needs to. I think otherwise they don't kill these heroes. This game could look a lot worse if Taiga wasn't playing so well right now.
Well, this will be a tier 1 tower and maybe a Roshan. I mean, they do know the egg is down. It's a decent cooldown.
Updark, can we go ahead and get a Roche check there real quick? Make sure it's still there.
He is
Okay,
indeed
that's good
there.
timing. Good timing there.
Well
Go
done,
for it.
Pop
Pretty
Tart.
good reflexes on
Jug
Pop Tart
actually
today.
just TP'd straight mid. He's going to push 1 wave and walk in. This is great map movement by Liquid.
Don't get too excited there, BSJ. It's
Dude, no,
just the wave.
these movements are so clean. It's the same as last game. Yellow Submarine did it really well. Liquid's doing it very well this game. Boxy messed up his chain. I think he meant to put a tree in the middle of
No, it was just Vision, Pop Tart, or BSJ.
Now he's actually trying to play a tree.
Pop Tart Vision, Vision. All right, we got a counter smoke on the side of Yellow
That
Submarine. Will they
AC
get
makes
here in
this so
time
fast,
though?
The AC.
Yeah, down goes Roche. No contest. Collapse. Doesn't have a blink dagger yet. Still a couple hundred away, so not able to surprise them. At least not yet. McKay will immediately counter ward. And just take over the enemy circle. But here is the initiation on top of him.
McKay?
That is Aegis.
Dude, that was...
And he is still alone.
I mean, he's going to be fine because he has spin, but, like, that was just so stupid.
That is definitely something that you mauled at your carry for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Great. We got the Aegis, guys. Let's go ahead
Well
and play
done, well
bot.
done.
I mean,
Carry's
I
just in
understand
there
that he's
trying
been chilling all game, but he has literally no stat items.
I mean, to be fair, if you know somebody's going to die in the next minute, you give them the Aegis, right?
How
That
the
was
next,
a farming Aegis.
How about the next 20 seconds?
That was a farming the enemy ancients
Yeah.
and dying Aegis.
That's right. That was 3 Triceratopses that he killed for that Aegis.
No, he didn't even kill them.
All right, well, he got to experience a dinosaur in real life, which is more important than
That
anything
is
else. So we're
true.
going to have a fight breaker out now. Sunray
Oh, the Oracle W
starting to
is
tick
so
its
nice.
damage there as Mars ult comes through, but Taiga, he is ulted with that false promise. Will he live through the day?
Wait, can you roll through arena, or did you
barely.
do that before the arena?
It might have been
was-
towards the tail end, or, yeah, he could just be able to go through. I'm not
I
sure.
think you can roll through arena.
So it must be before the arena formula.
He must have just gotten through. I mean, it's a pretty fast.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Koikva. Spear's
He's
going to
dead
miss,
on
and he
Mars.
is just going to turn this around on top of Mars himself. Tries to mitigate as much damage as possible, but it's not really to
healing
be.
ward, hype,
Yeah, Boxy was getting quite low, but
storm.
they're able to turn this around again onto Storm Spirit. Now Phoenix on the run, attempting the TP out. Will not be successful.
Wow.
And that is 3 dead. Make it 4 with AM, the sole survivor. Of course, he's not even with his team, but he shouldn't be.
Hasn't done
It's an
anything.
AM.
That's the thing is, like, they use their volley of spells to win the initial fight on the side of Yellow Submarine, and that takes a lot of discipline to say, okay, we won that fight, but we used all of our stuff. Just farm, and instead they went for the tier 1. That's actually a bit of a slip up strategically, and now they are paying the ultimate price because Visage, just like all these other
This
summons
AC,
push
man.
heroes, will obliterate your buildings.
And
Was
that
all
is
the
going to be a
visage.
full set of racks in all likelihood, the very least the melee. Here's the Mars
going
ult to
in.
try to counter this as much as possible. Sunray to follow, able to take out the Oracle right off the bat, but the trade is going to be for the Mars, who essentially evaporates inside his own walls. And now Liquid on the run. Mickey already expended the spin.
Healing word is so good this game.
Dire's structures are fortified.
That's why Jug's so good against Phoenix. Not only do you kill the egg, but Phoenix is meant to like bring everyone down to half health from the combo.
It's crazy. They're only up 3K though.
Yeah, it's just
It's so deceiving.
It's like the fact that they have this like
Visage, man.
visage push lineup is that you die once in front of your base, he just takes your barracks. Like they weren't winning, it's just that they lost that fight right in front of the base, and the barracks gets shredded.
I know Jenkins didn't think this in the draft, but it is just a strategical advantage to have Visage against heavy split pushers that require like 2 or 3 items to fight you, because he just doesn't let you get those items. He's going for the solar after the AC, as mentioned earlier. Just so much physical damage on single targets. As Timber, he has Greaves pipe here. I don't think he's gonna die.
Really? Percentage-based damage as another spear misses. Collapse kind of having a rough game in the spear department this time around. Yeah,
And he's going
Boxy at
for
full HP.
Yules maybe. Looks like
Yeah,
with
quite
that voice tone
possibly.
queued up.
I've had so many people go Yules first on Timber, and they are the
And
most
you just want to report
useless-
them. Yeah.
I want to specifically call people.
Oh,
I'm not
the
gonna
zip
do
in
it.
by Storm, but thinks
Sacred?
better of it.
No. They are in this tournament though, but
Okay.
jeez. Sumail legitimately told them to quit Dota because of the Yules first.
So
on
yeah,
Timber.
I understand you guys didn't give Jenkins any credit on his saying Yules is bad, but Sumail said it, so that means it means something.
On who? Timbersaw or just?
Yeah, on Timber. So.
Okay.
Like first item right here, the whole idea of Yules on a hero like Timber at this stage in the game is that they're gonna try to commit onto you in fights. With a hero like Anti-Mage, they're gonna burn all your mana and blow you up, so you
Oh,
just buy
boy.
that extra time.
Oh, he had the illusion rune.
Wow.
That is very lucky because he was silenced, and
Is it luck though? Didn't he just know? He was
that's
allowed to
true.
do that?
He put himself in position to be able to use it and look cool.
Yes.
All right.
Manta dodge as Storm. That's the closest you're ever gonna get.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Well, these mid players, man, they just play for excitement. You know, that's all they really care about. They just want to have a good time.
On
Grabs
collapse.
the wave
Is under attack.
from mid. Very nice.
Birdie's continuing to do damage, but backdoor protection does kick in. But the creeps have arrived, and away it goes. So that's going to be a tier 3 tower at the very least. But I don't see Liquid stopping anytime soon, especially with this lineup.
Like to point out, if Boxy had not grabbed that wave from mid, Storm will just zip this wave. And so him doing that actually means that they can get this Rax.
It's a very big deal to clean up 2 waves at once when you're against split pushers like Storm, because you'll suddenly find yourself with that backdoor protection screwing you over.
Did they
As-
actually just 5-man smoke? I guess so.
Yeah, Yataro's just doing whatever you can on Anti-Mage, which is not engage at all and fight the...
I mean, this is like cookie cutter AM. There's only one way to play him, which is kind of what makes him a bit polarizing, I suppose.
I had a guy in a pub the other day, some super high rated player, and he said like, I was surprised to hear him say this. He was like, I hate having Anti-Mage. Like, Anti-Mage is so bad on my team. He was malding. Somebody picked Anti-Mage. Please don't pick AM. I was like, dude, AM's a good hero. I'll finish that after.
I'm really interested to hear the conclusion of that
Okay.
story.
Yeah, that's good.
As the Mars ult comes out,
Phoenix
the egg on the other side. This could be successful with the
Oh.
Mana Blade doing massive damage, but they're only going to be able to kill the Earth Spirit, at least to start. False promise applied to Boxy,
He's gonna die, I think.
but he should die thanks to that percentage-based damage.
Oh.
Still alive from the tail end of this fight.
Anti-Mage blinked
Attempting
in
to
and
get out.
died.
There's the spear finally finish him off. The AM did not do his job, aka ignoring his teammates, and instead came and died with his team.
It's just this AC Solar. He blinks in and dies almost instantly on the side of Anti-Mage.
As a classic AM player, you know, this is what they do. They,
Please, I'd like to finish you to finish this
okay,
story.
okay, well,
It's riveting.
so this gentleman, he was just arguing. I hate to say him here, and I was like, bro, it's a good hero. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you, like, threatening to grief because of this hero? And then he's like, well, because even if you win with AM, it's not fun because he just ignores you for 25, 30 minutes and then makes the entire game about him, or he blinks in and he feeds. Like
Right.
that.
That's just true.
And then
of
I was
course.
like, yeah, you're actually right. You've actually convinced me to support your griefing.
He's the reverse techies, right?
Yeah. I
Where
actually
instead of
didn't mind.
Winning
I-
his team the game, he's... Yeah, I see.
Because it's like, I actually hate AM players too. If they win, it's not fun for anyone.
Right.
If they
Talking to
lose.
Ritsu right now, or what?
What?
Like, you hate AM players? I'd say Ritsu's the most notable North American
Well, not
anti-mage
anymore. I mean,
player.
he used to do next level shit, but now everybody does it. We're all the same in NA, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. It turns out if you have the same playstyle for like 5 years, eventually other people will copy you.
Wow.
If it's good.
Well, I'm saying
That's
you
not
got-
even true necessarily.
I'm saying, like, if they do it really well, what's going to happen is other people are going to learn to do the playstyle because you taught them how to do it, but they're also going to be well-rounded players because...
I mean, we're seeing that come into fruition with Bloodseeker. Nobody's winning with it, but they continue to pick because they see
That is
BSJ hate
actually
it so much.
That is actually false, and it's a 54% win rate in this tournament, and I would not like the viewers
Yeah.
to have this libel and slander directed at this beautiful hero.
For all the super high,
Beautiful.
for all the super
Fantastic.
high MMR viewers out there, you are welcome to pick Bloodseeker when you are on the other team. You are welcome to do it.
For all the super high MMR players out there, I wouldn't trust somebody who's on about a 20 loss streak, lost 20 of their last 25 games.
Is
Is that
true?
Jenkins? I feel like that's Jenkins.
Tiger going to get initiated on by Toronto, Tokyo. They're able to get him out of this. Buyback onto Mars, though. So
The bird stun, though. The
Yellow
bird stun
Submarine,
disengage.
they do have the advantage. Oh, that's a Storm Spirit Aghanim Scepter. The black hole is available.
The non-BKB piercing black hole.
Yes. I mean, it's really good,
No, it is.
especially
No,
as
it
a
is.
surprise. Not sure if he's shown yet,
They have damage issues, though, and the axe doesn't really help that.
but they have percentage-based damage with Sunray.
How many times are you going to mention that?
Well, until you realize it's percentage-based damage.
I will formally acknowledge that it is percent-based damage.
Okay.
But the problem is that Dire's such high HP, and I'm wondering if there's any sort of damage that
Oh, yeah, Turo. Oh, my God. He is just dead.
That
we'll
is an
probably have to
anti-mage
buy
player
back.
special. The healing ward on the high ground.
What does the healing ward do?
Huge
What does
healing ward
that
on the high
do?
ground.
That heals them percentage-based HP.
Percentage-based HP. Unbelievable.
The Timbersaw
Mars
with the
dieback.
Timbersaw with the Whirling Death, percentage-based damage coming in hot from the Timbersaw, from that Whirling Death.
You know, the greatest counter to percentage-based damage is percentage-based
Percentage-based heal.
healing with the healing ward from Juggernaut.
But then on the flip side, you have the percentage-based damage turned right back around from that Timbersaw.
That's true.
Did you know that
Unreal.
AC and solar lower your armor, which makes you take more percent damage from physical?
Wow, that is actually incredible. What are the percent chances that Liquid wins this game?
I'd say about 95 in the draft, as Jenkins called for Yellow Submarine to win it.
Here's the zip hit, but a huge black hole from Storm Spirit into the Sunray, into, well, Storm Spirit just dying. So
Indeed.
that should end game number 2 as GG's come out. We're going to a game 3, boys.
Who has Jenkins predicted to win both
Yeah,
games? this
as
series?
well, you know, some of us aren't blatantly insecure about our predictions because we always get them wrong. But that's okay. You can, you know, live your life. It's 2020. Looking at that game, you know, fantastic play by Liquid. They cleaned it up quite a lot. Yellow Submarine even having relatively decent counters to the Timber, I would say. They couldn't deal with Boxy's Timber. Taiga, he was all over the map, crushing it with those silences. I think he was the only one that could really do that needed to be there for everything, and he was. He maybe didn't come through in the first game, pull through, but he did in the second.
I want to chop this up to a draft air from Yellow Submarine. Anti-Mage and Storm are both countered by the same game plan, which is to just walk and barrel down buildings. And Koikfa is a summoning building damage killer specialist.
He really plays all of those ones.
Yes, he
Nature's
does.
Prophet, the Bear, the Bird, the Death Prophet. I couldn't think of anything to call him.
Broodmother, the spider.
Broodmother.
As
yeah.
we continue to think of other heroes that Koikfa may or may not play in both past, present, and future, we will go to a quick break as Game 3 will be coming soon.